Is this on? Yes. Okay, we are going to get started. So if everyone out in the hallway can come in. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. My name is Jean Marie Burrows, and I am the board member over Seat 6. First of all, thank you to Skyridge's Jazz Ensemble. Amazing. So good. And their teacher, Howard Summers. Thank you. Okay, so I first am going to introduce our new superintendent, and then we will have a jazz band number, and then we will start our question and answer session. Okay, Dr. Joel Perkins has served in various roles in Alpine School District since 1999, when he began teaching social studies and coaching athletics at Lehigh High School. After 7 years in the classroom, he joined the administrative team at Orem High School, where he coordinated the construction of and the transition to a new building. He became principal of Lehigh Junior High School in 2011, and then was chosen to open Skyridge High School as its first principal. In 2019, Skyridge became the first school in Utah to be recognized as a National Unified Champion School. You might have to tell us what that means. After 6 years at the helm at Skyridge, Dr. Perkins took on successive assignments as a district administrator, first as executive director of teaching and learning, followed by chief of staff, and most recently as associate superintendent, the position he currently holds. As a district executive administrator, he focused on developing Alpine School District's strategic plan and helping schools align their learning plans to it. He also helped develop a district-wide framework for teacher collaboration, which I appreciate. Joel holds 3 degrees from Brigham Young University. He earned a Bachelor of Arts in History Teaching in 2000, followed by a Master of Arts in Educational Leadership in 2007. In 2017, he was awarded a doctorate in Educational Leadership. And as I read this and thought about it, were you getting your doctorate while you were opening Skyridge? Yes. That is what I was doing the timeline, and I'm like, that was a lot at one time. Joel loves to ride his mountain bike throughout the peaks of northern Utah County. When he's not riding his bike, he likes to spend his time traveling with his family and fixing up his old Dodge truck. He lives in Highland with his wife, Summer, and his son, Lincoln. So we will now do the music. And I don't know if you saw the correlation here, but he opened Skyridge, and this is their band. As they're gathering all their things, let's give them another round of applause. Thank you so much. Amazing talent. Okay, now we're going to go into the question and answer portion. Because we don't have candidates, right? We have our superintendent. So we just gave him the list of questions, and he will say the question and then give his answer. So we will go have that as our format.
Okay, we'll use this. Everybody can hear me all right? All right, thanks, Link. Okay, thank you very much. You guys are amazing. And everybody that's here tonight on a Wednesday night, thank you for coming, especially students. I am grateful that you're here. I am not grateful to be the center of attention. That's not my preferred. I prefer to be in the background helping make things happen. But I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to talk a little bit and answer some of the questions that have come in and just get to know all of you that are willing to come and spend some time with us. I have the questions. I'm going to read the questions, but there's a couple of things just from the beginning. I just want to kind of lay the groundwork if I can, so you can all get to know me a little bit and really my focus of where I want to be and where I hope that we can together build towards. I have what I call my big three. And my big three are, number one, gratitude. And I say that in all sincerity because what we're about to do as we open this new district, there are a lot of people we need to be very, very grateful for. And there's a lot of incredible work that happens every day in our schools. And our schools are operating and accomplishing amazing things with the help of administrators, counselors, faculty, staff, support, classified, I guess we call them ESPs now, right? Educational support professionals, and our parent volunteers, our community, and our students. All of that is already in place. And so this is such a unique situation because we have so many amazing schools in our new district who are doing incredible things every single day. And that's because we have dedicated professionals who care about kids and want them to be successful. And so as we move forward, we must recognize those daily contributions and communicate that gratitude to our amazing folks. As I think about gratitude as we move forward, I'm grateful for the board and the opportunity to step into this role, and I'm grateful for the support of the amazing individuals in my life, friends, family, colleagues that I work with. My wife and son, I can't do anything without them. And I am so very grateful for them. My second thing of my big three, the second point, is excellence. And there's a philosophical debate about there versus are we going after success or are we going after excellence? And I personally like to pursue excellence. And the difference for me is sometimes we get caught up in the comparison game and we compare ourselves against our closest friends or our nearest rivals or whatever the case may be. That to me is seeking success. And I believe success comes to those that are pursuing excellence, meaning they are comparing themselves against their potential, where they want to be, where they want to reach, what they want to accomplish, and how they can continue to improve their practice to achieve the results that they're wanting. So that's number two, excellence. And then number three, for me, high levels of learning for all students is essential. For me, all means all. And I believe very strongly in that concept in helping all of our students to achieve excellence, to achieve their potential, meeting them where they are and helping them to accomplish every year steps closer to what they want to become and what they're capable of becoming. That concept really drives everything that I do. I look forward to working with our parents and our students and our professionals to determine the best ways forward. I have great vision for what we can accomplish, specifically as we're working with students with special needs. I believe there is a lot of opportunities that are out there and a lot of great things that are happening. I would say pockets of brilliance. And we have professionals in the classroom every day who know what those students need and know how we can remove some of the ceilings that currently exist. And our plan is to gather those folks together, create task force with our parents who also know the potential of their students, and to really lead, I would say, lead a charge, a revolution to improve not only life for all of our students, but for those who have specific special needs, who need some additional support, and to do it in a way that we can become an example to the rest of the country about what can be done to support individuals with special needs. And the reason that I'm talking here, a great analogy was shared with me recently, and I call it the curb cut principle. When ADA established the curb cut philosophy, and they came in and they mandated that we would cut curbs so that people with disabilities, wheelchairs, could access sidewalks. It was an amazing step forward in the lives of those individuals who were mobility challenged. But it also had incredible benefits for the rest of our communities. If you think about the impact on kids on bicycles, or kids with strollers, or families who are trying to navigate walking across the street, the impact of curb cuts was far-reaching. And the same philosophy applies to me. When we make school and we help potential be accessible to those with the greatest needs, we're making those same opportunities and more accessible to all of our students, to all of our kids. And so that for me is a significant passion in my life, and that's definitely a direction in which, as we've talked with the board, we are going to move forward and hopefully make some significant changes and impact on the lives of all of our students in Alpine School District. I didn't know I could get claps. I feel that's awesome. So with that, let's go to some of the questions that were submitted. I know that we are streaming, so we have some folks at home as well that are probably interested in some of these answers. So I'm just going to read questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. Okay, first question. How do you plan to make employees feel personally valued by the superintendent, and what level of access can teachers expect? Our previous superintendent was responsive to teacher emails and calls, and that accessibility made a meaningful difference in how we felt. My approach has always been surround myself by amazing people and listen to them. And so as I think about how are we going to help our teachers to feel personally valued, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to be out in schools. I love to visit schools. It's my favorite thing, and I go out and I talk currently in my existing role with a lot of teachers, a lot of administrators. For me, it's very important as we're making decisions to listen and gather feedback from those that are closest to the kids. That's where the answers are. I see myself as the chief's support for the classroom and removing barriers and providing the supports that we need. Now, obviously, there are things that we have to juggle as we work through things, but that's where the answers are. That's why when I was talking earlier about the improvements that we need to make in many different areas, the answer resides with those that are working with our students, to our administrators who are there working with our teachers and supporting students and parents. And so for me, that's where it will come. Accessibility, emails, I'll answer them. I'll be in the building. I will hope people will come up to me and talk to me. If they don't, I will go to them. I will be in their classrooms, and when they come, I expect and welcome questions and welcome impact. And I will be asking questions because I want to know their opinions and what we can do to best support them. So I think that'll be good for that question for now. What are my thoughts regarding UEA and AEA? My thoughts are we have valued relationships with our employee associations. They are our teachers. They are closest to the work that's happening in the classrooms. And we have a great relationship with all of our associations now, and I expect that to continue. I know the leadership well of all the organizations. We're friends, we're colleagues, and I listen to their input. Next question. What will you do to make sure the metrics we choose to measure students are actually tied to increasing student learning? I think that's a great question. As I look and say, okay, how are we, for me, number one, let's talk about metrics. Metrics are very important to help us to reflect on our own practice to improve. I believe in collaboration. I believe in our teachers working in PLCs, professional learning communities, but I also believe that's my role as well, and I believe that the highest functioning team in the district ought to be my team. It ought to be our school board. It ought to be the school administration, and it ought to be supporting all of our teachers as we continue to improve. And the only way that you can improve through the learning cycle that we call the PLC results cycle currently, the only way that you can work through it is determine how you're going to measure the implementation of whatever new thing you're doing. Is this working or is it not? And so those need to be clearly defined. And so as I look at this question, I would say we will work together to determine what the best metrics are. I don't believe that I have all of the answers when it comes to how to measure first grade reading. So we're going to pull together first grade teachers. We're going to talk to school administrators who have expertise as well in those areas, and collectively we'll determine what are the best metrics to use to determine are we being successful. We'll look at the research. I'm very research driven. I know what the research says, but research is a starting point, and then we take it into action research in the classroom with our teachers. And we say, have you tried this? Let's try it. Let's measure it. Was it successful? How do we continue forward down that route? Okay, next question. Teacher burnout is real, damaging teacher morale, and is leading to high turnover. Why do you believe teachers are experiencing burnout, and how do you plan to address it? That is a very big question. I would say the reason our teachers are experiencing burnout is because teaching is hard. It is an incredible labor of love, and it is not easy. Every student has different needs, and our goal, think about this goal, our goal is to help each and every kid, each and every student progress and be successful. That is an overwhelming task. Not to mention, there are other things that are going on that, right now we're going through a period of change. Change is unsettling to a lot of people. Those combinations, along with all of the other things that happen, and the list is very long, burnout is a real thing, and we recognize that, we see that, and I keep saying this answer, but I'm going to go talk to teachers and say, give me your feedback. Some of my best friends are teachers. We have these conversations all of the time. How can we help teachers to feel supported, validated? How do we help you to carry the load that you have in front of you? What additional supports can we provide? What solutions can we create? What structures can we put in place? Those are questions that we will ask because we care and we want to support our teachers. Next question. 85% of Alpine students participate in performing arts, while 20% participate in theater specifically. Do you believe it's important to have someone with performing arts experience involved in decision-making process when creating policies that affect 85% of our students? If so, how would you and the new school board help to ensure the performing arts professional is in the room where it happens? See what they did there? That was pretty good. Those of you that are Hamilton fans, right? As we establish this in our new district. Well, I think, I don't want to be repetitive. I think if you've listened to me, you probably know what my first response would be, and that would be, let's get together with our performing arts teachers and talk about what those needs look like and how can we best support those. What supports do you see that you need that will help to make it, help you to have what you need to be successful and help you to be able to move forward? I'm a huge fan of the performing arts. My son participated at Skyridge with Mr. Summers through every band that they had. I've hauled equipment on marching band fields. I have been involved in many hours of rehearsals. I care about those programs, and we want them to be successful. I believe this is specifically trying to get to the question, but not asking the question is, are we going to have a performing arts director at the district level? And right now, the answer to that would be, we have a lot of things to talk about with the board. And I'm not prepared at this point to answer that question or any question regarding specific personnel and who will be in what roles and positions yet. But I am very committed to ensuring that performing arts professionals, our classroom teachers, our coaches, I'm committed to making sure they all have what they need to be successful, and we will find the way to figure out to provide that support. Is that fair? Okay. All right, next question. With increasing classroom behavior and mental health needs, how does the district plan to support teachers and students at the elementary level? And what role do elementary school counselors play in providing that support? Also a great question. And I think in here we see some of the reason for burnout. Behaviors have been, classroom behavior management has been a struggle as we have over the last few years seen increases to those things. And so certainly our school counselors have played a valuable role so far at the elementary level. Currently in our district, in Alpine School District, the counselors, I believe, we have, actually, I'm not remembering, one counselor for every 2 elementary schools, I believe. Close to that. That's another one of those questions that the board and I need to discuss, but certainly we prioritize providing the support for our students and the support for the classroom needs. And so that will be an ongoing conversation, but we absolutely value our counselors at the elementary level and at the secondary level. We couldn't do the job without them. I think we all believe very strongly in that. So that will be something we continue to work towards, and we'll have further conversations for sure. And then the last question that we have here, how do you intend to modernize the special ed program in Aspen Peaks and to ensure faculty and staff have the resources they need to provide FAPE to these students? I think I talked a little bit about that. There are a couple of things that I would say for me would be easy initial targets to set. We talked a little bit before. It was mentioned, I think Jean Marie, Board Member Burrows, mentioned Champion Schools, Unified Champion Schools. It's a program that's done in conjunction with Special Olympics. Skyridge was the first in the state of Utah to be named. It was cool. They actually partnered with ESPN. They announced it on I just went blank on the ESPN name, the Sports Center. They rolled through. It was, you stand in front of a camera with that red light. That red light on that camera is very intimidating. So that was happening in 2017, and then since then, I believe we've added 5 other schools, 3 other high schools, and a junior high. Timberline was recently named a Unified Champion School as well. Lone Peak is a Unified Champion School, currently within the future Aspen Peaks, and I think that is a great place to start. The program is not only, it's just not a recognition that you apply for, there's actually components that you go through to establish in a school that provides opportunities for all students to engage, both those with disabilities and those that don't have those disabilities, to work together to create a culture that is a meaningful, inclusive culture. There's a lot of steps in order to qualify for it, but I think it's a great target for all of the schools in Alpine School District, or Aspen Peak School District. I would love to see, I think it's great for all the districts, to be honest with you. But for Aspen Peak specifically, I would love to see all of our secondary schools become Unified Champion schools very quickly. And just recently had a conversation with Special Olympics about elementary and elementary schools becoming Unified Champion schools as well, and what that looks like. And I think that's a great opportunity and one that would be something that would be a great starting point for us as we move forward in Aspen Peaks. Other things that, as far as modernizing special education program, there's a route to graduation for students with disabilities that is an alternative diploma, an alternative high school diploma. It's something that some students are taking advantage of. My son was a graduate through that program, and it opens doors. It provides opportunities, and I would like to see more of our students participating in that alternate route to graduation, or the alternate high school diploma as well. So I'd say we'll start with that, and then much more to come, but certainly because I want to gather together those who are doing the work and gather their ideas as well, and then we can talk through how we can continue to improve in that area. Okay, I believe, let's see, I think that's the questions that we have. It looks like I had a couple of questions that came in about class size reduction, or what are the target class sizes and what should all that look like? And again, that is one of the items that's on our board list of what do we want to accomplish. One of the questions says, what are your targets? And I would say smaller than what we're currently doing, and especially in some of our areas that are experiencing high growth. We need to work through those things, but at this point, probably wouldn't be appropriate to discuss further, but definitely something that we are interested in looking at, because we know students succeed when that connection exists and they're able to receive the needs that they individually have to accomplish and reach their potential. Okay, I believe that, there was one other, I do want to, Logan Jones, a senior from Skyridge High School, sent in a question that asked me what new policies we're planning to implement. And as much as I would love to answer your question, Logan, if you're watching or if you get bonus points because I said your name on the TV, I don't know right now. We'll have to look at policies are a little bit down the road from where we're currently at in starting to create the new districts. So stay tuned. If you reach out again, I'll be the first to let you know when we make policy changes coming up. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Jean Marie?
Thank you for answering those last few. They came in today when the deadline was yesterday, and so I wrote back and said, we already have our questions, but I'll print them out just in case we have extra time. So thank you for touching on those, and I hope that he does get that extra credit. Okay, the rest of the night, actually, let's give a round of applause for our superintendent. So the events for the rest of the night, we have a couple of things for you to do. We have the slideshow of favorite things that we paused on building Skyridge. Those are great pictures. But we thought it would be fun to get to know him a little bit. So watch that on any of the screens. And we also have a bucket list activity that we'd love for as many of you as possible participate in. Jason, do you want to come up and explain it?
All right, so right over here, there's a little silver pail, and there's cards and some pencils, and I've even seeded the cloud a little bit, given some potential ideas that you may put in there. But basically, the idea is, for the next several years, as Dr. Perkins serves as our superintendent, what are some bucket list things? For example, on my wife's bucket list, there's things like go to Machu Picchu, right? I mean, that's a big one, right? That's big on her bucket list. Or, so a bucket list of those things that you want to accomplish. So I usually try to think of fun things to do. So for example, you could write down, get a picture with Cosmo and Swoop at the same time. That'd be pretty cool as a superintendent. Cosmo here, Swoop there, take a picture, bucket list. Done. Check that one off. So I've given a few ideas on there, but they could be fun, they could be social, they could be academic. So what are some things that over the next several years as Dr. Perkins serves with us that, oh, this would be cool if he got to do this or this or this. So take a chance, think of something creative, toss it in there, and maybe we'll figure out a way to catalog those, have some kind of board in his office, and then he gets a dartboard, and that's the one he chases. I don't know. We'll figure something out, a way to kind of to catalog those and report back. But be creative, think big, have some fun with it.
Be nice.
So what is your number one bucket list item? So I can write that down for you. What's your bucket list item? And I'll write that down, okay?
Well, Hawaii is always on.
Okay, okay. Hawaii's going in there. Yes. Okay, so the rest of the evening is just going to be a meet and greet. We're going to take some chairs down so there's more room. But in the back, we have a gorgeous cake from Avenue Bakery, AF, American Fork, and some square donuts from Lehigh Bakery, trying to represent our areas right here. So the formal portion is over with, and let's get to know our superintendent better. Thank you for coming.